Andrew Glenn overseeing the action tonight. Michelle Waterson, great to have you back. Karate Hottie in the building.
Yep, and we're kicking it off with a stellar fight, so I'm excited.
Eman, the one who knocks Hardy in the red gloves.
Oh, coming out with that jab.
Malcolm Wallace, 9-0 as an amateur, ranked as Tapology's #3 welterweight in all of North America. Now here making his professional debut.
Yeah, you could tell, like, even if it's pro debut, he has a really good composure about him. Taking the center of the cage, popping out that jab.
Not in a rush, I like, 9 amateur fights, 8, 9, 10 amateurs, get some under your belt. I think that experience is valuable.
100%. I definitely wasn't this calm in my pro debut.
They didn't have amateur fights back when you were getting started.
Did not.
A lot of talent down here in the Florida area, of course. Tampa's been a great home to us over the years. We're happy back inside the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino for the first time in 3 years. Sold out. The action is getting.
Oh, swing and a miss.
Slipped on that high kick, and the Ronin settles on top. I like the aggression there, but it cost him that moment.
Yeah, and it's good on Wallace to take that top position there. Let's see what he does with it.
Among those 9 wins as an amateur, 6 finishes, including 4 knockouts, 2 submissions along the way. But this is the first time he's getting those 5-minute rounds, right? A lot longer, a lot more time to work with.
Yeah, I actually prefer the 5-minute rounds. Gives you more time to work, especially in MMA when you're incorporating the grappling and all of that.
Yeah, sometimes with 2- and 3-minute rounds, you really don't have much time to work in these grounded positions because it takes some time to set the traps and that sort of thing. But I think you always have to be aware of your energy level as well, right? Those 5-minute rounds.
Well, especially your pro debut, right? You just want to go out there and put on a show. You want to get your career started off in the right way.
Absolutely.
Doing a great job, staying composed, keeping that top pressure, and kind of peppering in those punches when he sees the opening. But his guard's open. I'd like to see him try to pass.
Here's some coaching there in the corners there. You see Hardy underneath, keeping tight on that left side, that overhook. But you're right, for a moment that guard was open and Wallace didn't really take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're comfortable there and you're landing good shots, why move from that position? But you can just have so much more dominant position, even in just the just passing into the side.
Absolutely. Close guard underneath now. Wallace posturing up, lands a couple of short shots there. He's not used to being able to fire those elbows in. You always like those in your pro day. I feel like that's the one athletes like the most, where they can start raining down those elbows.
I remember my first pro debut. I took the girl down, and I was in her guard, and she had my arms locked up, and in my head, I thought it was illegal to do a headbutt, and I got a warning for it, so good learning experience.
That's hilarious. You were just out there doing some smashing machine, right? A little marker out there.
Got to use all your tools.
That's great. Under 2 minutes to go here in the opening round.
Yeah, and I'd like to see Hardy try to get up from this position. It's just too dangerous of a position to be on bottom, and so many opportunities to get up and reset.
You're right. You and I were talking about this earlier before we even went on air tonight about athletes sometimes will settle on their back and they feel comfortable. Maybe they don't feel like they're in a lot of danger, but they're allowing so much time to tick off the clock. Flat on your back. You should be on a hip, right?
Yeah, to the judges, being on your back is a really, really bad position. And even if you are working for submissions, you're on your back, you're at a deficit.
Minute to go here in the opening round, CFFC 151.
This shit's gay.
I mean, some people are really good at fighting off their back. Carlos Condit always did a great job of throwing those elbows, cutting his opponents up off his back. But a lot of times you want to see to cut him open and then create space and get up or go for that submission. But to just stay in guard like that is quite dangerous.
See it now, kind of postured up on that right hip, but you're 100% right now. You got the knee shield in place underneath, trying to create some space. But imagine if he can last these last 20 seconds here, there's going to be some adjustments made in between rounds. They don't want to see their man on the back this long.
Yeah. There are those elbows.
The Ronin for the final 10 seconds.
I wish he would have passed earlier.
Yep.
You see, he just have so much more control from that position.
Gaining confidence in his professional debut. And you can see why there was a lot of hype around this man, Malcolm Wallace.
I call that a good first round.
Very good first round of a pro debut. Appreciate everybody joining us here early tonight. As I said, we've got an absolutely stacked lineup of action coming your way. Main card later tonight on UFC Fight Pass. Heavyweight title on the line in the main event. Larry Gonzalez and Vitor Hacende. Anthony Garasio, the former champ, is back against Jackson Stanford. Marquez Forrest, another former champion there against Ashton Charlton. Liam Hamill and Ron Humphrey. A lot of people talking about that fight. Christian Carr, Tyrone De Silva, Paul Carson versus Lucas Cortez. I'm telling you, all 6 of these fights on paper look like they could have a lot of action. So I'm excited for all that UFC Fight Pass.
So we like to see the action.
That's it. Fans want entertainment. Fans want finishes. They want athletes that are pushing the pace.
All right, first round's out the way.
Second round, action.
Eman Hardy.
And it does look like Hardy was able to put a little bit of damage on Wallace from the bottom there. Nice high kick, Wallace. Whoa!
Nice
That was a
exchange.
slick, clean high kick. Just kind of hide it behind that jab.
It is interesting, the composure from Wallace in a pro debut, right? Switching stances, looking for reads.
Switching stances, all those fakes and feints, just trying to open up his opponent, mixing it up with his punches and kicks.
Oh, just missed on a big shot there.
Oh!
Hardy's getting himself off the cage.
I really like Hardy's jab. Just gotta put something behind it so he can actually take advantage of that nice crisp jab.
Oh. These two are trading right now. Pace picking up a little bit after that first round, maybe stagnated a little bit on the ground.
Yeah, Hardy's like, we're not going to the ground this time. Let's keep it standing.
Making the changes. I like it.
Oh! What a combo! That's what I'm talking about.
Very nice to stay in the pocket, land that right hand. Hardy walking forward, hands low.
Well, and it's interesting, right? Because you want to D up, but I think he's baiting him to come in because Wallace is the taller fighter, so he needs that distance to be closed.
Great observation there. It's a risk-reward type scenario, right?
I know. I mean, if you pass it up, you got the good head work.
Hardy is gaining a little bit of momentum, it would seem. Wallace showing his danger.
Oh, those inside punches, and there it is,
Key moment here.
Duck under.
Slips around to the back. Hardy has got to work back to his feet. Does not want to settle on his back
Yeah,
again.
you gotta take advantage of that cage when you have the opportunity. A lot of times, I like to take my opponents down in the center of the cage so they can't use the cage to get back up. If you hit the cage, use it to your advantage. Put your back on it so they can't take your back.
That was beautiful work from Wallace there as he took the fight to the ground, kind of had that second effort and slipped to the back at the same time.
Right away, as soon as you see that opening, there he goes with that body triangle. Now let's see what work he gets in.
Say halfway through round number 2, and this is a worse scenario for Eman Hardy than he had in the first.
It happens so fast. You have to be aware of it as soon as it happens. Otherwise, they just kind of sink in and settle in.
Hardy doing the right thing for the time being, controlling the wrist, not allowing the choking arm to come around, switches it to the other side. Still stuck in that body lock right now, though.
Yeah, those body locks are no fun. Kind of takes the air out of you. But, I mean, this is what I always tell my students: when you get in bad position, you can't sit and wait because they just settle in. You gotta scramble. You gotta keep fighting until you get in better position.
Continuing 2-on-1, but now look at this. Wallace trying to slip that right arm under the neck a little bit. Not there.
Oh. There he goes. Switching over to the stronger side, so it's harder for Hardy to escape that body lock triangle.
Hardy doing the right things defensively to protect himself, but not necessarily to get out of the position. Look at that. I like that. Slam his face for it. I mean, that's not a foul, right? They have to be in control of their own body.
Yeah, I mean, you got to use everything as a weapon. If the floor is a weapon.
we use the ground as a weapon.
Take that.
Slam him into the earth.
I don't have my hands. Give you the mat.
Beautiful. Under a minute to go here in round number 2. Competitive on the feet early, but now Wallace has been able to control from the back.
Yeah, this has to be frustrating for Hardy, you know, it's because you're just stuck in these positions, and here it's kind of neutral because they're fighting for a submission. There's really no damage being done. So Wallace really needs to kind of fight for some damage or work on that sub.
It's interesting, right? Because, yeah, just control of the position really shouldn't be scoring criteria much anymore. We're looking for damage. We're looking for offense.
Yeah, but if you're winning, I mean, it's a good strategy.
Right. Little Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway type action. Hey, if you're on the back, just stay there. Final seconds ticking off the clock here in round number 2. Hardy firing some punches backwards. Wallace answering with some elbows of his own. And it is interesting. Aggressive on the feet early for Hardy, and it looked good. Well, then Wallace got to the back and was really able to take it.
That's what I was going to say. You know, I think it's good on Wallace to recognize where his strengths are. And, I mean, he was doing good in the stand-up, but he just was doing better on the ground. Here we are with that back leg kick to the body. I really like that low leg kick, and that kind of opened him up for that takedown. He has the back here, and that's where he was like, get off me.
Hey, not everything has to be beautiful technique, right? Sometimes it just needs to be effective.
That's what my coach Joey Villaseñor I used to always try to fight so technical, and he's like, Peanut, it's a fight. It's going to be messy. It's not going to be perfect.
That's a great point.
Sometimes you just got to bite down in your mouthpiece and go.
Such a key part of it, right? I mean, obviously you're drilling every day. You want the technique to be perfect, but the scenarios aren't going to be there. Just remember, you're in a fight.
Yeah, you're not hitting pads.
Yeah.
We're not doing a kata.
That's it.
We're throwing down, and the person is not trying to let you hit them.
I mean, it may be silly, but it's like if you were out there protecting your family, you know what I mean? Are you worried about beautiful technique, or are you just like, let's go?
It's going to be messy.
All right, round number 3. Potential that Hardy may have stolen that round with the early work, but I would think Wallace probably up 2-0 right now.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. And it's hard, too, for the judges when there's 5-minute rounds because they tend to remember the end of the round more so than the beginning of the round.
Just human nature, I think. Hardy does look like he realizes he might be down 2-0 and needs to make something happen.
There he goes, mixing up. Oh, nice hook to the face.
I love the way he hangs in the pocket to land that late right hand. Did it in round 2, did it again there. Look at that!
Oh, flying knee. He reacted to his own shot.
He liked it.
He said, oh, that was cool.
I'll put on the show. Oh, Eman Hardy.
There goes the shot again.
Big moment here. This time he's able to sprawl and get the hips away. Lands a big right hand.
That was dirty.
Could the tide be turning? Eman Hardy, beautiful sprawl.
I think he understands now where he has to attack, and it's in those shots, in those positions where Wallace is going for it, and he's exposed. Kind of bloodied up his nose a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit of damage there. Malcolm Wallace being tested.
Come on, Hardy, let's string those punches together. Oh, you can hear that from a mile away.
Jab right down the pipe.
Did he just lick his glove?
Oh, look at the Malcolm Wallace.
He did the BJ pin?
Yes. What a pro debut. Eman Hardy trying to rally. Oh, he thought about setting up that back elbow.
That would have been nice. Oh! Okay. We're breakdancing.
Eman Hardy putting on a show. My goodness.
Oh, he's feeling himself. He's feeling himself.
Walking forward, hands down, still a lot of time to work. He's spinning and throwing, winding it up.
Definitely.
Oh.
Great way to open the card.
I told you tonight was going to be fun. My goodness.
And he finally got in his groove, and he kind of is feeling where his range is, and he's landing his shots. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Can't back down, though. Half of the third round to go. Might be down 2 rounds to none.
And that's the thing. It's like if he's down 2, he has to get a finish here. So
popping the jab, throwing the fastball with the right hand. Wallace a little bit hesitate, waiting forward.
And you know Wallace is like, let me take him down.
Yes, he would love that. He would love to turn the tide for sure. Look at this.
Oh, but that's the thing with shots, right? You have to be explosive. You have to have a lot of energy. Third round, pro debut. Like you said earlier, he's not used to those. What dropped him?
Yeah, I mean, look, you go from 3-minute rounds to 5-minute rounds in a pace like this, you're getting tested. Tried to move in there, backed away from the uppercut. Man. Fun opening fight here at CFFC 151.
Hardy just found his groove.
Telling you. Needs a sense of urgency now, though. 1.5 minutes to go. Certainly winning this round.
I'd like to see when he lands to land again. You know, he's landing these big shots, and it always happens in sparring when you land a good shot and you're like proud of yourself, so you kind of like admire it for a little bit instead of team kick to the face.
Nasty front kick. But he gets driven to the floor. I'm clapping along with everybody else. That was fun.
Let's go.
Flying knee, but he gets driven into the canvas. Huge moment for Malcolm Wallace. He needed that.
Right, and again, maybe it's strategy, right? End of the round, he's trying to steal the round from Hardy.
Blood pouring out of the nose.
Oh, this is going to be a hard one to judge, John.
Has to be broken at this point, but he's digging deep. On the back, hands clasped around the body. And try to kick the leg out.
I think Hardy kind of has to go for broke here. He needs to do something.
Man, what a start to the night.
How much energy do you think it took Wallace to do that takedown?
Oh, he needed that bad.
He got the takedown. He's like, okay, let me take a little breather.
Look, I mean, how deep you have to dig in your core. Look at this, trying to lift up and slam him to the canvas. And he's looking for the finish, trying to sink in the
10
hooks.
seconds.
Hardy rolls. Wallace still doing damage to the end. Oh, driving away to the body. And my goodness, what a start to the night. Eman Hardy and Malcolm Wallace. Much love and respect after a fun fight.
Way to open the show, boys.
Really good. You know, it's interesting because I would certainly think Eman Hardy did enough to win that fight, even with what changed. But it's no longer a 10-8. Take a look at some of this action here.
There we go. That tight right hook was awesome. But I think this is what kind of turned the tides, is when he was able to get that sprawl and not allow that takedown to happen, because then he just found his groove with those slip and dip, rock and sock 'em hooks.
Come on.
Little show for the crowd. Boop. Right up the middle. That was a nice call.
Man, a lot of fun. While we were in the replays, both these athletes took turns scaling the cage, and they both got claps from the crowd, much deserved. Fun stuff. But I was going to say, I had Wallace up 2 rounds to none going into the third. I felt like maybe we were cruising towards a 10-8 and maybe a draw, but I think that late work from Eman Hardy, probably only a 10-9. I think Malcolm Wallace gets this 29-28, but we shall see.
I do too. I kind of wish they had a couple more rounds, because I think
Can we go 5 rounds in his pro debut?
I really feel like Eman was starting to catch his groove and kind of find his, you know.
This is a showman. He walked over the carry and said, see, he's busted up.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
He's busted up.
Oh.
Wow, he is busted up.
And that's the thing that the audience doesn't get to experience, right, is what the damage really is inside the cage. Sometimes those shots, the fighters are able to have a good poker face and kind of hide a little bit of what the impact really was.
Unbelievable.
We shall see.
I said I'm still pretty. Look at you, Hardy.
Hey, got a shout out over here. He's putting on a show for me.
He wanted to give a shout out to the Karate Hottie. Unbelievable. Fun stuff. All right. Let's get the fighters to the center. Scores are in. Dr. Dave has the decision. Let's take it to him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds we go to the judges' scorecard. Judge O'Connor has the fight 29-28 for Wallace. Judge Borico has the fight 29-28 for Hardy. Judge Torres has the fight 29-28, and your winner by split decision, the one who knocks Hardy out of the